this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to do a watercolor painting with some flowers and leaves. And it's going to be very, very loose, and it's not, it doesn't have very restrictive shapes, so there's no drawing required. And I'll just go and start painting. So I'm using a very basic palette. This is a watercolor palette and a medium-sized brush, a round brush. So I'll start off trying to do some flowers. So I'm gonna do a rose here, a pink rose. So for that, I'm gonna use this pink color. And we'll start off with doing the outsides of it. I'm kind of going in a round shape, doing the bigger petals on the outside, and then I'm going to take a little bit more color and start doing the inside. So it's always nice to move the brush in the shape of the petal, like it's just going to be more rounder, and take a little bit more thicker paint and start doing more details in the center. And like, you know, the center, the absolute center is kind of all these tiny little petals coming together. So it's going to be a little bit clustered, like a cluster of petals. And then can come out for outside petals again and see if I can blend a little bit of that color. So I'm using one brush for my painting and one to blend the colors. So the one that I'm using to blend the colors, it's a little bit damp brush, doesn't have any color in it, and just using that to blend. And again, it's a very loose and it's not super restrictive, so just have fun with it. So that's about the pink rose, and then I want to do a couple of the roses here. I'll do maybe orange, and I have a beautiful orange in my palette here. I'm going to do something similar to what I just did, but I'm going to do a smaller size rose right here. So again, you start off with a lighter shade, and as you come to the center, keep getting more paint and start doing more details. And then blend the colors a little bit. Maybe I'm going to use a little bit of a darker shade to highlight. The rose. I'm going to do the same on this one. I'm going to do another rose, like kind of right around here. First doing the outside petals, and then Then blend the colors. Wait for that to dry before I add more details in this flower. But this looks kind of done. And you can see how the shape of the rose is coming out. And then maybe I'll add a little bit of a small, like half a shape of a rose here. Like a rose that's peeking out. And then I want to add some greens. Now that I have some flowers, let me pick a nice green. How about this one right here, which is nice and bright. I'm going to take this green. And first, I'm going to draw like a thin stem. And then I'm going to try and add petals. I'll mix a couple of greens here. So now I'm just doing very loose leaves around here. And I want to do some details from like these are like I saw this this plant in botanical gardens where it had these interesting seed-like shaped petals coming down the stem, which looks very interesting. So I'm seeing if I can add something like that to just make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, this is our creation, so just you can add whatever you want to make it more beautiful and unique. Okay, now I want to come back into this after it dries, which is it has dried a little bit, and add a few details into the leaves. Okay, I'm giving a couple more strokes to bring in a little bit of definition, because I started out with one shade, and normally I like to have a couple of shades of color in the leaves to give it a little bit more interesting look. And then I'm gonna add a few more leaves to add a little bit of composition to this. Maybe this green. A different kind of leaf. Again, you're making a bouquet, like an arrangement of your liking, so you can just add whatever colors you want. And then I want to add some leaves and some more leaves, but this time I want to mix a little bit of brown into my leaves to show kind of like fall colors. Leaves with like, which are a little bit darker. Can make it even more darker. And then a little bit of lighter shade. Maybe I'll add another pink flower here, just a hint. There's a pink flower kind of in the background. Because this pink looks a bit, this pink flower looks a bit lonely. Okay. Then I want to add a few more elements to the bouquet. And then I'm gonna do a few small little details, and I can use my brush pens to have so much fun doing all of these details with. These are like some of those fine elements that you can add to your bouquet. I did some holiday cards. I painted some holiday cards like this, which are like very spontaneous, not a lot of structure, but You just go with the flow. And I had such a blast doing all of those holiday cards for my students. Sometimes I didn't even know what I was going with, and I just kept playing with the colors and with the compositions, and you end up with something very beautiful. You just have to go with your gut feeling for this and just do. And maybe I want to add some more greens here. Feels a bit empty. And then as a final filler, you want to add some light green in the background so that it looks like a beautiful bouquet and they're all coming together. So just filling this background, like all the white spaces in the middle, just fill them up with the nice green. And now you have a beautiful bouquet of flowers.